Hi, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing my passport makeup. So the time has come and I need to renew my passport, so that means I need to get a new picture along with it. And I would say probably about, I don't know, maybe like a year ago or so, there was like a girl, I think it started on TikTok, but she did her makeup for her passport and it looked incredible. She looked amazing. And when I first saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, as soon as like my passport or my ID or something expires, I'm going to try to like recreate this look in some way so that my photo looks good, because the photos I have now on my ID and my passport both are not cute. I look terrible and I want to change that. So this is my version of the viral passport makeup, I guess you could say, that I'm going to use when I go renew my passport. I'm not doing it today, but this is kind of like my trial run to kind of get the look down, and then on the day that I'm actually going to go renew it, which is really soon, I'm going to do the same look as well. So let's get into it. Alright, so for this look, it's not like a super heavy makeup look. It's more about the technique that you use to get your face to look how you want it. So I'm not wearing any like crazy foundation or doing any like crazy eye or lip looks today, but I am going to go really in depth and try to explain the techniques that I'm using, because that is how you achieve that like really snatched, like elevated look on your face. So for foundation today, I'm just using a skin tint. I'm going to use this one by Rare Beauty, that Eavesdrop Blurring Skin Tint. And I'm just going to take that and put a little bit on my cheeks and my forehead. And then I'm going to take my finger and kind of spread that out. And this is just going to give me like a light base. I'm going to go a lot harder on like the contour and the bronzer, because that is what is going to make my face look more snatched. I'm just taking a sponge and I'm going to blend this out. Now moving on to concealer, I'm using this one by LA Girl, the LA Girl Pro Conceal, and I'm just going to put that all around my face. So now starting with technique, it's going to start with the concealer. So after you have your like foundation or tinted moisturizer or skin tint, whatever you're using, you can blend that out like normal, but then after that, this is where you're going to want to start using a different technique. So I'm going to put my concealer on, and I want to just put everything in like an upwards direction. And then I'm going to take a brush to initially blend out my concealer. I'm going to use this small brush right here. And I'm just going to take that and start blending. And with the concealer, especially around the eyes, you're going to want to start blending it in like an upwards motion so that it just already starts creating that more lifted effect. So even if you take a sponge, which I'm going to do, and blend it out the rest of the way, I'm still stroking my brush upwards. And that is just really going to help start that process of making your face look more lifted, like a little at a time. It doesn't make a huge difference, but it does help. So just make sure you stick with that technique the best you can. Obviously, like down my nose, it's not really gonna make a difference. I'm like around my mouth, but the eyes and the nose, this area, you just want to start bringing everything upwards, like towards your temples. And then once I have that kind of blended in, I'm just going to take my sponge and still just kind of move the product upwards until it's all blended out. Now that my concealer's on, I'm going to immediately set my under eyes, and I'm just going to set it a little bit, nothing too crazy. I think usually passport pictures are black and white, so you most likely won't have a lot of like kickback or like big flash, but I would recommend just going light-handed with the setting powder depending on how much you like to use, just so that your under eyes aren't like bright white in the picture. But I'm going to take this little puff and put a little bit of powder on there, like that much, and I'm just going to set my under eyes just to prevent them from creasing, and around my nose and mouth. I'm not re-dipping back into the powder, I'm just using what's left over and setting that area. And this is all the powder that I'm going to use. Alright, next up we have cream bronzer, which is now where you're going to start kind of using that upward stroke or upward motion more, and this is where it's really going to matter. So I'm going to take this Rare Beauty cream blush. This is in the shade Bright Side. And the placement of this really matters too. You want it to be higher up on your face so it looks more lifted. So generally I would put it like right here, but I'm actually going to make it a little bit higher up, like on my cheekbone. And it's going to be the same on my forehead. And then a little bit on my nose. And I'm also doing it on my eyelid, and this is all going to kind of blend together. Now I'm going to take my blending brush, and this is the Complexion Duo by e.l.f. I'm going to use this side for my cheeks and my forehead, and this side for my nose. So what I'm going to do is just start blending that out, and I'm just going to keep pushing it up towards my temple, and this will just help give my face the more like snatched effect. And then same thing with the forehead. I'm just going to blend it like back into my hairline and down towards my temple so it kind of meets the cheek contour. And I just blend that out until it gets to the spot that I want. And I'm doing the same thing on the other side. So keep pushing it up, and then you can kind of push the forehead back. And now for the eyes, I'm going to take this smaller side and just start blending that out kind of all over my lid, but I'm going to start blending it out towards my temple so it kind of meets the cheek contour a little bit. And it's just going to elongate my eyes and make it look, all of this area look more lifted. So this is really important that you blend your eyeshadow or your contour, whatever you want to use. You can even use brown eyeshadow on your eyes if you prefer. But you just want to make sure that it all is pushed out. Now for the nose, it's kind of the same thing. So I'm going to start blending out my nose contour, but I'm going to bring it in the inner corner of my eye and then just keep blending it out towards my temple with all the other contour that I just blended out. So it's all going to kind of be like one seamless line. One more step that I like to add for complexion is this product from Makeup by Mario, the Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer. I love this product. It's so amazing. It's like your skin, but better. It's so great. So I'm going to take this same brush and just lightly dip into that and just put it like over top of where I placed the bronzer, just to kind of make it like melt all together. And I feel like this isn't as like, I don't know, it's not as warm toned as the cream bronzer, so it just kind of like helps blend it better into my skin and look more skin-like. Then I'm going to take some of that and bring it down along my chin because I still want my jawline to be snatched as well. Then I'm going to add some just on the outer corner of my eye, still bringing that up towards my temple. So now for blush, I'm going to take something really light. I don't want the blush to be like the main moment of this look. I just kind of want like a subtle pink tint to my cheeks, nothing crazy. So I'm going to take this blush right here by Essence, just a very neutral pink color. This is in the shade Beloved. And I'm going to take this small like stippling brush from e.l.f. just so I can really place the product where I want it. And I'm going to dip into that and just apply that to my cheeks. And I'm going really high up with the blush as well, like almost to my under eye, like high up. And then just lightly blending that back into my contour and up towards my eye. And I'm just kind of brushing it all over this area just so it blends really nicely and there's no like dramatic lines. It all just looks very seamless. And I'm using a powder blush because I feel like it's lighter than a lot of liquid blushes. I feel like liquid blushes are more dramatic and I want this to be really light and just like a little tint to my cheek. Then I'm going to add a tiny bit on the nose. Now for what I think is the most important part is the eyes. So I'm going to do my brows first and then I'm going to do maybe a little bit of eyeshadow and then a little bit of a liner. So first for brows, I'm just brushing them up and I'm going to really lightly fill them in. I don't want them to be too dark or too dramatic. I just want them to be really lifted. So I'm going to go harder with the brow gel than I am actually filling them in. So I'm just going to lightly fill in these bare spots on the ends. And then a little bit over here. And then I'm going to take that end again and just run that through to kind of blend it all out. Now for brow gel, I'm using the e.l.f. Brow Lift. This is a clear brow gel, and this stuff will make your eyebrows stay in place. So this is like the perfect product for this look. So now I'm going to take that and just start running that through my brows and then lifting them up. I don't want them to look too crazy, but I really want to focus on the ends of my brows being lifted up towards my temple, like the rest of the makeup that I was doing. So once I have all the gel in, I'm just going to lightly take the spoolie and I'm going to just lay any crazy hairs down like that. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. My brows are how I want them, so now I'm going to add just a little bit of eyeshadow, and I honestly don't even know if this is necessary, but I'm going to add just a little bit. So I'm going to take this Makeup by Mario palette and I'm going to dip into this really light neutral brown color and just kind of put that like all over my lid, mainly focusing it in the crease, and then same thing, just lightly blending it out towards my temple. And I already did this a lot with the bronzer like contour, so I don't really know if this step is necessary, but if you want your eyes to be like a little bit more dramatic or just add a little bit to them, I would say just add a really neutral color brown shadow to them, and that can kind of like bring it, elevate it a little bit more. One last step for eyeshadow, which I personally think is the most important part. And with this step, you can use eyeliner or eyeshadow, and you can use black or brown or whatever color you want. I'm just using brown eyeshadow for this so that it's a very like soft effect. I think in the original video that the girl did, I think she used black like eyeliner, but for me, I just think that will look a little too harsh. So I'm going to use brown eyeliner, and I'm taking, or brown eyeshadow, I'm sorry. I'm taking this little palette by e.l.f. It's the Bite Size eyeshadow in the shade Cream and Sugar, and I'm taking this really deep brown in this small angled brush, and I'm going to put on this as eyeliner, and I'm not even going to bring it all the way down my eyelid, and I'm going to make it a really small, like soft wing, just so that it's almost not even noticeable, but it still gives my eyes a more like lifted effect. And this does, I think, make the biggest difference with the look really bringing it all together and making your face look as snatched as possible. So I'm just going to take this and then do my wing. And like I said, it's a really like baby wing. Barely noticeable. And then I'm just bringing the shadow like to the corner of my eye, like about, I think you can kind of see how far in I brought it. So I'm not dragging it all the way down my lash line. So that is it for eyeliner, and I feel like that really made such a big difference with my eyes as a whole. So I definitely recommend doing eyeliner, a wing of some sort. You can use black eyeliner if you want it to be a little bit darker and a little more dramatic. I just personally don't really ever use black eyeliner, so I didn't want to start today. But next up, which is the very last step for the eyes, is mascara. And this is another really important part as well, just to make your eyes look big and dramatic and lifted. This look, I will say, would look really good with fake lashes, or even doing like a half lash on the outside, so that it even makes your eyes look more winged and more lifted. I'm just not going to do that because I don't ever wear eyelashes. But if you like wearing eyelashes, or if you get like eyelash extensions or something, you could ask your lash tech to do more of like a wing fill, or like when you go in, ask her to do more of like a wing style, so that when you get this picture done, you have that effect on your lashes. So I'm going to take my lash curler and really go hard with that, so my lashes are very curled and they are sticking up. And then I am going to use my favorite mascara that I always use, which is the e.l.f. Lash and Roll. And I'm going to be very heavy-handed with this, and I'm not really going to put anything on my bottom lashes. I might just do like one stroke just so that they'll stay where I want them to, but I'm not really focusing on that because I don't want anything like dragging my face down. So I'm just going to start applying my mascara. And I'm going to do like a bunch of layers of this. And what I was saying for the bottom lashes, I'll probably just do like that. So barely anything. I don't really think it even makes a difference at all. But some of my lashes kind of stick to the other one. So just so that they're all, you know, laying the right way, I will use a little bit of mascara. But I'm just going to keep lightly coating my lashes until they look how I want them to. And I'm focusing a lot more on the outer portion than I am the inner. I am putting some on the inner corner of my eye, but I'm mainly focusing on the outer corner. Last but not least, we have lips. So for today's lip look, I'm keeping it really simple and really like natural looking, I guess you could say. I want my lips to look plump and glossy, basically, is the goal. So I'm going to take this Lip and Cheek Tint by Essence, and I'm going to put that all over my lips. I'm not going to do any outlining with this. I'm just going to fill in my natural lips. And then I'm going to use a lip liner to make my lips look more like pouty and plump. Okay, so I'm going to leave this on for like a few seconds. It's really crazy right now, but I promise once I wipe it off, it won't. I just take a little towel and I just start rubbing it off. kind of gives like a Your Lips but better tint to it. Makes it look a little pink. Now going in with a lip liner, I'm going to take this one by NYX. This is my favorite lip liner in the shade Natural. And this is a very close like color to my lips, so it's kind of like Your Lips but better. I can overline my lips and it's not going to be too noticeable, but what I'm going to do is I'm only going to overline my Cupid's bow and then this part, and then I'm just going to use a liner on like the natural like shape of my lips for the rest of it. So I'm going to go in with that. And I'm overlining in those specific spots just to make my lips look more like pouty. But I'm going to take this lip liner and kind of run it like on my lips as well, just so it blends better. And then I'm going to take my finger and blend it all together. And I kind of messed up a little bit up here, so I'm going to take my concealer brush from earlier and just kind of fix it and clean that little spot up. And then any other spots that I don't like. Final step for lips, I'm just taking a clear gloss and I'm going to put that all over. I do not want to show you the gloss that I'm using because it's so gross. It's like not even clear anymore. It's brown from always using it over top of my lip color, but it's the, I think it's like, it's an Essence lip gloss. It's just a clear gloss. I think it's called the Extreme Shine or something like that. I'll link it down below, but it's so gross. I need to get a new one. It's honestly embarrassing. You can tell by the applicator that it's not clear anymore. So I'm just taking that and putting that over my lips. And here is the final look. This is my passport makeup. This is the makeup that I'm going to be doing in like a week or two when I go get my passport renewed, go get my picture. I don't think I'm going to do my hair like this though. I'm not really feeling the half up, half down look. I wanted to try it out like when I did my makeup, but after doing it, I still don't really like it. I do want to have my hair slicked back just so I look more snatched and sleek, but I don't think this is it. And I don't really want to wear a bun because I don't want it to look like I don't have hair. So what I think I'm going to do is straighten my hair really good and then just kind of like throw it all back like this and then have my hair parted down the middle. But I don't really know yet. I kind of need to play around with it. But yeah, this is my passport makeup. Like I said, it's not really anything crazy. It's more about the technique that you use and where you place your products to really make your face look very lifted and very snatched. So if you have to renew your passport soon or get a new driver's license or an ID or anything like that, this is a makeup look that you can try so that you can really elevate your pictures. Because if you're like me, all of my past ID passport pictures, I look terrible, but I'm changing that this time. This time I'm going to look snatched. People at the airport probably won't even think that I'm the same person when they look at my passport and then I show up there in sweatpants and a messy bun, but oh well, at least I look cute in my picture, right? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Bye!